Right, where are we? What we're doing? Well, it's clearly Dayz again. See, I got a nice new toy given to me by the guys. And I thought I'd make a quick video. Hopefully this microphone's in the right place. Thought I'd make a quick video because I'm in an unusual place. And where am I? Well, I'm on Shelky Island. Let's get rid of these. And I am particularly just about here. Go on, let me put a tag down there. Yeah, right, okay, 50 metres. One thing I have noticed, the way I got here is gone. Now, I came here yesterday in a rib, little Zodiac speedboat, and it ain't here anymore. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get off the island. So, anyway, while we're here, we're going to have a little look at the way the island's laid out and what's here. To be honest, what's here is actually not very much. But we'll have to keep an eye out for a boat. So we've got a lighthouse. Let's go into first person. Wait, put me in. Don't think we're going to find much up here. I've got a sneaking suspicion if I don't find a boat to get off the island, I'm going to have to swim. And depending on how the server is set up, will depend whether or not I lose everything. So, oh no, doesn't look like I'm swimming, although that does look like it needs repair. But yeah, this is the island. It's, you know, reasonably big. Tiny concern, you know, for Dayz point of view, but, you know, this island is as big, if not bigger than any Battlefield 3 map. Down ladder, chunk, chunk, chunk. Here we go. There are a few buildings, and yeah, it's just a case of wandering around and seeing what's what. We've got a boat shed to look at. There are Zeds because there are a few houses here. But you notice there's no grass. It's a little more primitive than the main map. I suppose they didn't anticipate spending a lot of time here. That boat looks to be in very poor condition. But if you notice, the terrain isn't as good, the thing. But, you know, there are places for things to spawn. A few bits and bobs. There's an enterable house there. It's not going to be enterable, but we've got spawn will come in there, and spawn comes in there. Oh, we've got some grass now, which is nice. Oh, go away, you. But otherwise, it's a pretty barren place. But I'm never quite sure whether it would be a good place for a base camp in, you know, in Dayz. If you had a helicopter, it would be pretty cool. Oi, piss off, you lot. Now, the way I got here was I was up in the northeast, and there was a Zodiac, you know, little. I think it must be the fastest boat in the game. It's and it's what's it? A little inflatable with an outboard. And basically, I just travelled the 7 clicks to here, all the way down the map. But otherwise, this is a pretty empty place. Get rid of these Zeds. How well do you do rocks, guys? Yeah, piss off, Mr. Zombie. I don't know how much else is on the map, or on this island. Is there anything else worthy of our attention? Probably not. Apart from the fact it might make quite an interesting. Oh, I've still got one on me. Might make quite an interesting base camp for a team. I'm not quite sure what use it'll be, because it'll always be tricky to get to. You are going to need a boat, or you're going to need a helicopter. Don't think it's large enough in any way, shape or form to land the aircraft on here, because this server has fixed wing aircraft. No, that's not a long enough runway, is it? I've played a few missions in armour on this island. No, it's just countryside and not a lot of it. So, Selkie Island, am I pronouncing that right? Skallisty Island. Yeah. Pretty little place. But, yeah, not a great deal of reason to come here apart from possibility that it might make an interesting base camp. But it would have to be for a pretty advanced team, a team with access to helicopters and boats and such like. Now you see, if it had a water source, which I'm not sure if it has, and it had a place with animals, you could probably live here. Boring game, but I know there are a few people who are into just living in the backwoods. They don't like player interaction, they don't particularly like zombie interaction, they just want to make their character live as long as possible. There's a guy I know who's had his character for 100 days. I think the longest I've ever done, when playing daily, the longest I've ever had a character live for is about a week and a half. Can you imagine having a character that's lived for 100 days? Good grief. It looks like there's a shipwreck over there. Let's go have a look at the shipwreck. Now you see, that's the mainland over there. So, in theory at least, you could be shot from the mainland. This island isn't completely safe. And of course, if you had a squad turn up, they could have you. I mean, unless there's an animal spawn point on the map. In other words, on this portion of the map, there is somewhere where goats and sheep and cows and such spawn in. You're going to have to go to the mainland for your food. If there isn't a water source other than picking up cans of Coke, again, you're going to have to go to the mainland. It's not a survivable place. There are some nice detail features in this game. On this map I do like it. That shipwreck. There's a shipwreck up in the northeast which is quite attractive to look at as well. All the times playing this game I can't remember this shipwreck before. Here you go, shipwreck. Mainland. That's as close as it gets. Now this server does have a lot of regular players on it. They're thinking of whitelisting it fairly soon, which might be interesting. Because when the hackers come along, they do cause a right problem with the server, and they have to reset things back. It's better than most servers on the grounds that you do get. Oh, we've got Zeds. Is that you do get admins playing. A lot of the time whilst you're playing, there'll be admins online at the same time, and you can have a chat. Bugger all here, is there? And again, that's the mainland over there, through in the mist of the trees. Spawn points along there. I suppose if you were a particularly dedicated and patient sniper, you could sit on this island and spawn the fresh meat as it comes in. I know I'm into Bambi killing. Well, I'm not into player killing. You know me by now. I don't player kill. But, yeah. We've got another house up here. Chuffing great big rock. Sweet tree out of the way. But it's a non-enterable building, you see? Non-enterable. Ooh, there's a dunny. With, kind of drink. That'll do. I'm gonna watch. I've got to watch. Ooh, a few items. A few interesting items even. Look at this. Now, here's something I was told recently. You run out of ammunition for your saw, apparently you can use standard rounds. I have no knowledge of this one way or t'other. I haven't tested it, but that's what I've been told. Mind you, you'd burn through a 30-round clip pretty fast with a saw, wouldn't you? So, that's pretty much the whole island, you know? Because if we look over there, that's where we started. It's a big, you know, it's a fair chunk of the size of an island. I suppose you could live on it. Just doing the occasional trip onto the mainland to pick up some supplies you can't get on here. Let's get over here and have a little look at what we actually have in that little village. So, yeah, a few interesting bits and bobs. Boat. Where's that boathouse? Oh, there it is. But so far, I don't believe there's a source of water. I'll be back in a second, guys. I'm just going to do a cut because you don't see me running through this bit. So I just run from over there to over here because what I wanted to see is there a well in town? I didn't bother to check. Is there a well? Because without a well, survival here would be very tricky. Because without a well, you would be reliant on having to find cans of Coke. And there is. There is a well. So yes, you can survive here. You know, you'd have to check the loot spots for cans of Coke and such. Sorry, cans of food. But let's go and have a little look at the boathouse. Sorry, I'm going to go first person for this because it's always tricky running on these things. And I can't remember. Now, piers, they don't come along piers, but do they come along? No, they don't. So here we go. What's we got? Now, I think the problem with this place is they don't come along the pier, but they walk through this portion and they can tap you through the wood. Wonder how safe I am up here. I can hear them in the water. Like they're hurting themselves. All the zombies splashing about in the water. On that note, we'll leave it there. I think I'm going to log out actually. I just wanted to show you this, and I will talk to you ladies and gentlemen later. See you later, boys and girls. See you later. Okay, where are we and what are we doing? Well, Dayz, but this is not my regular server. This is just a general server. And, for the first time in ages, I have logged in what I could do with his kit. But I'm a hero. I have logged in on a regular server. It's a French one. And it's very, very full. It's like a 50-man server. So, I don't think I'm going to live long. Spawning in right behind that guy with a saw is interesting. People are running through town. Zed's down there. What's my kit level like? Pretty good. Hang on, I hear someone nearby. Maybe we should get out of Dodge. Let's turn on to semi. So, never played on this server. Lighting levels is weird. It's had a strange message. It said the server restarted many times during the day, and it was always set to night time, but this clearly isn't night time. They said full moon every night. Bandit with an Enfield. It's not good. Let's get away from... Zed's down there. There's a lot of players on this server. Let's get away from Dodge. Obviously just above Electro. Let's go third person because it allows you to look over hills and things. I could do with some food, I could do with some water. But I've been playing on the rock paper zombie server for so long that I'd almost well, I'd completely forgotten where I was. I'd forgotten my kit level and everything, so let's make sure I'm not being hunted, eh? As anything is possible on a server with this many people. I could do with some water. So I've got a reasonable kit level. Don't think I have much in the way of food. So, where to go and what to do on a very full server. Hide. Run away. Run away like a scared little girl. I think that's going to work for me right now. In-game time. Oh, it's early morning. That's why the light looks so funny. Visibility is set very close, isn't it? That's only 800 meters or so, 900 meters before the clouds start coming. In fact, probably even closer. Don't hear any gunshots, but people are dying left, right and centre, so let's get into the woods. So I'll catch up with the filming in a bit. So, a few minutes later, let's move the microphone, hopefully that didn't deafen you. We are Pushta, which is just north of Electro. And I could do with some food and general kit, so I'm going to go into first person. Zeds are in. On a server this busy, I don't particularly want to use my weapon, so maybe the G17 is a little quieter. Lucky with a couple of cans of food. This light looks weird, isn't it? The coloration. It's because it's early morning, so you've got the sort of early morning light. Very odd. If ever you've played the single player of Dayz, single player of Armour, you'll know that this is the first sort of village you come across. Some hatchets and some food. That's good. Baked beans. They'll do nicely, thank you. I'm sure none of you have ever bothered to play the single player of Armour, but it's worth your time, at least the first bit of it. Let's get away from that guy because he was sort of facing me directly. Oh, bushes. I want to get into that Stalin house there. If I remember rightly, pretty much the only other enterable building in this. Get across this road without spooking him. Yes, you're not used to me creeping around, but I do sometimes. Definitely on a server that's potentially this busy. Oh, nothing. Oh, that's so annoying. I took a long time to get here. Stuff should have spawned in. Nothing here. Okay. Quick look at the map. Where to next? Stowaway, Moggy, let's go to Mogga. Barns in Mogilevka, there's some two-storey, there's a Stalin house there. So that's where to next, about 2 clicks away. By the way, do you see all those white spangly bits in the trees? Anyone knows how to get rid of those, I would really appreciate it. Because I find it intensely annoying that my game is artifacting like that. There's spangly bits in those trees. Ah, they're gone. Yeah, marvellous. Let's run up this way. I don't think there are any more enterable buildings in this village. No. Nope. Players are dying left, right and centre on this server. Time to get into the woods, I think. Okay. At least I've got a decent weapon. And, yeah. Catch up with you in a bit. I've got a fair bit of ground to cover. Here we go. Mogilevka. Helicopter crash. We've got zombies coming in here. Now you sometimes get a helicopter crash around Mogilevka. I've never actually seen it in that location on the road before. Now being on the road might be a little tricky. Ordinarily you can sort of creep around without the Zeds spawning and attacking you, but of course on the road, and look at them all, on the road it's going to be tricky because you'll make more noise. Going first person is the possibility of going into combat. Look at them all, little buggers. Let's wait for them to get a little more dispersed, I suppose. Mogalevka is a town, of course, I've played in this area a lot prior to Dayz coming along. Okay, this is not going to go well. No others? Let's quickly have something to eat. I know it sounds daft, but I'm not quite sure if this is true. But I often get the feeling that if you are weak with hunger and get tapped, you're more likely to get injured. I don't know if that's true or not. It definitely feels that way sometimes. What's my ammo state like? 22 rounds left. Doesn't help I'm on full auto. This is the only problem with this, the AK. I'm gonna have to kill them all, aren't I? Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill them all. Kill them all! Kill them all! Come on, get ready to tap me. That's not good. Damn, he's dead. I'd really not actually wanted to... I wanted to sort of leave one of them alive. Pretty much guarantee now. Now, what have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Gear. Oh, yeah. Frag grenade. They can be fun, but you've got to be careful with them. See how the light is flaring out because it is actually quite early in the morning. There's low light levels. Now, was that the same pile again? Yes, it was. Pretty much guarantee if there's players around here, they now know I'm here, and I probably want to get out of dodge pretty quickly. Nothing coming up. So where do we go to now? Not that way. To the barn, I guess. All we got out of that little one was a hand grenade. That was like basically exchanging a magazine of ammunition for a hand grenade. And of course the fun of shooting zombies, which is never a bad thing. The server seems to restart quite frequently, so yeah, unusual scheme for restarting. Anyway, catch up with you in a second. So we're back again. In that building, I managed to find a magazine for this weapon, which is pretty good. But into the Stalin house. Hopefully there's something in this one. There wasn't in the last one. Quick little look in this single-story industrial. Bandage. Should I get rid of this guy? Let's turn on to single shot. Let's point that bloody miss. Oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, I don't have a bandage, which is much more to the point. How can I have... Ooh, crazy state not to realise you didn't have any bandages. So as a matter of priority, let's go to my G17. In a matter of priority, pick up bloody bandages. I might have even missed bandages in... Yeah, there's him. Let's trot in here. A few bits and bobs. Let's deal with this guy when he gets in. Come on, Mr. Z. So, what have we got? No blooming bandages. Another water bottle. Am I carrying a second water bottle in the back? Yes, I am. Oh, and I've got bandages in the backpack. Plonker. Don't think I need you anymore. So let's drop you on the floor. Clothes bag. And bandage. Chunk, chunk, chunk. Wait, move over. Okay, you finally caught up with what I was trying to do, which is good. An Alice pack is extremely unlikely there's going to be something in it, but there's always a possibility. Nope. And a couple of cans of Coke, or a can of Coke and a can of Pepsi. So we shall have those. Not quite sure why I'm carrying a smoky. So, where to next, eh? I don't think there's much in the way of usual things here in Mogilevka. So, you sort of know where I'm going to end up, being me. Don't think there's much in this place, apart from that. I mean, I routinely cover very large chunks of the map in one go. But, you know, sometimes facing... Oh, there's a post office there. Facing sort of like a 4-kilometre trek is a bit much. So, you know, or even a 5 or 6 kilometre trek is a bit much. So, breaking it up into smaller chunks sometimes is a little easier to get your head round. Now, we're going to go into this little yellow building. Don't know if you get that much spawn in these yellow ones. It's just... I like them because they remind me of the old game, Armour 1. This is one of the few assets from Armour 1 to make it into Armour 2. You can sort of tell it's a little more primitive inside. What are you? To do Makarov rounds. Don't need you. But yes, you can tell it's from a slightly different game. When you are playing... There's a Makarov. When you're playing... bandages. On some of the other maps, some of the custom-made maps made by... not made by Bohemian Interactive. So, you'll come across... Drink Pepsi? Very odd. You'll come across various different buildings, and now I'm going to drink the Pepsi. Huh, nice. You'll come across various different things that are from other games within the series. Do I want DMR? Not really. And what have we got in here? Painkillers. Am I carrying... Oh God, I'm not carrying painkillers either. That's foolish. I've got blood on me, but I've got no blooming painkillers. How odd. Why are you doing the drinking? I think this server is having a few issues. There's a few clans who are running these servers with a lot of player slots, and without realizing that it is actually having a negative impact on their the players' experience in game. And this is a server where I think they're running it a little too hard. It's lots of fun, of course, to have lots of players, but each player's experience, it's got to be lots of fun. And if there are inventory errors, because... Oi, let me have a door. Now, where am I going? I'm going... Can you see? Unfortunately, it's a non-enterable church. Up on the hill, roughly in the direction I'm travelling, I can't remember precisely where, there is a castle. But I don't think I'll bother. Anyway, talk to you again in a bit. Now here's the thing. Just noticed, so I thought I'd mention it now. You can tell the server's being stressed because I'm only getting, when not recording, about 35 frames per second. In a situation like this, I would expect my frame rate to be up around 80 when not recording. I have my settings in-game relatively low for recording. Anyone who's used to... I use fraps for my recordings. And, hang on, options. Video options. Yeah, most of it's on high or normal. HDR quality normal. Sharp. Disable post-processing, that's personal choice on my part. 1080, 1080. ATOX disabled. But high default, high, disabled, high, normal. FXAA sharp, disabled. I have this on large so you guys can see this nice and big on the screen. So, yeah, the fact my PC is running this at only 36 frames per second also tells me that the server is being overstressed. So, yeah, they've got too many player slots. Too many player slots because it's affecting server performance, which is affecting user experience. As I say, in a woodland like this, I would expect to be getting somewhere around 80 frames per second. I get about 45 to 50 in a city, and out on an open plain of grass with trees in the distance, 120. So, yeah. They pushing their server too hard. Not uncommon, but unfortunate. Another reason why I like the rock, paper, zombie server is that they don't push it too high. Oh well. Talk to you again in a bit. Here we go. You know I was having problems with that drinking? About 5 minutes ago, the drink sound, the popping of the fizzy bottle. Have you noticed there aren't any Zs here? I get a sneaking feeling that this server is really having issues. Big time issues. Still no Zs. It's not drinking the water. I deliberately came here to drink the water, and because I wanted to be able to refill the water, drink water bottle, and yeah, it won't let me. And it won't let me because the game is out of sync. I bet you... Hang on, what happened just then? Here. Whoa, what happened to my water bottle? Yeah, this server's having issues. I go to eat the food, and you don't eat the food. Wait, let me out. Ah, now what was that? That was a little animation. So if I go here, my water bottle has disappeared. And I know what's going to happen. It'll catch up later, and then I'll be in the wrong place. Notice still no zombies. There's some pretty massive desync going on this server, and to the point where I think I'm going to get down to here and just log out, because... Ooh! Can you hear the noise of eating? I did that back up there. Has my drink bottle come back? Nah. You have consumed a can of Franken beans. Well, no, actually I consumed a can of Franken beans about 2 minutes ago. So, infected FR, Lithorem. Your server's buggered, guys. Seriously. Yes, you have a mumble server called Raid Wine, which is amusing, I suppose. But, yeah. Methinks you are running too many slots on your server. I've run armor servers, granted not with Dayz, but with other very intensive mods and missions. Oh, good grief, a whole load of people have been killed. 4 people in... Now, is that just that the server has just caught up, or have 4 people just died? Very often, a lot of people dying in one hit is a sign that you've got... There goes somebody else. Oh no, that's the same person twice. No, same person 3 times. Very often you see a large bunch of people dying very quickly. It's very often a sign that there's a hacker on the server. Personally, with this server, I got a feeling it's just buggered. So I'll log out here. It might be curious to go onto another server which uses the main hive to see whether or not I'm in the right place, because this server has to talk to the main hive to tell it where I am and what my state is, and that should happen about every 60 seconds. But if this server is so heavily stressed that it's only running at 36 frames per second, that it's out of sync. As I say, I've just walked through an entire village and not a zombie to be seen. Things not happening right, so I'm going to leave this here and nip onto another server, see how it goes. Talk to you in a bit. Well, here we are on a different server. This is Storm Clan or something. This is it's also a fairly full server. Here we go. It's quite a lot of people. Me. He's only one. Oh, good grief. No, people are getting upset with other people. Now, I am in the right place. Now, what's my kit level? Yeah, it looks like I've actually lost that water bottle, so I'll move that water bottle back to there. Different time of day, so the lighting levels are completely different. Let's make sure that's on semi. So this is a very busy server. This is in the UK rather than in France. I don't think that makes any difference, apart from the fact there's a possibility that you know, if I start shouting, let's make sure I'm on the right channel, direct communication. That we're going to... Mind you, do notice... I see. Zeds. There are Zeds here. Which is normal behaviour. There's also some loot, which is useful. Now let's see what happens if I pick something up. If I drink this... Yay, I drink straight away. So, whatever the problem was with that other server, which I'm sure was overloaded... I might as well say hello to these people. Helps if I hit the right buttons in the right order, doesn't it? But, yeah. Not a server that's too overloaded, although it does seem to be... What time is it? It is 10 in the morning. Which, by the way, it's not in real world. It is 6:10 in the evening. Most people seem to set their servers off time because they know that most people game in the evenings. And now, where was I? Yeah, where was I? I wasn't there. I came, pushed Modelevka, Narzino, just about there. Or is it here? No, it's there. There's a water source. That's where I'm off to next. 1.2 clicks away. And, even talking on side chat, that won't go down well. And I will talk to you guys in a bit. Just another nice little thing about this server. See the view distance? That is much, much better. Closer to what you would expect with armour. In fact, let's check to see if the view distance isn't actually being limited by me. So, options, video options, and set to 2.4 clicks. No, no difference. No, no difference at all. But it is nice to see decent view distance. The only downside of this server is there does appear to be quite a few people chatting on side chat, which is I would prefer not. Oh well, talk to you in a bit. So you can see why I'm here. But as often the case with this particular deer stand is the Zeds seem to be trapped by it. Instead of walking away from it, they're all spawning in underneath. The only other unusual thing about it is it's like the other wrong way around. Oh god, more people talking on side chat. If you want to get rid of people talking on side chat, is Aaron. Ute! Yay! That's got him to shut up.
Hello?
Oh god, more people chatting. Don't think I'm going to be playing on this server much if people don't.
Hello?
Maybe don't.
Hello?
Mute? Anyone else? Yeah, that seems to... Right, James and Josh. Who else wants to get muted while I'm here? I think that'll do for the time being. Now, dealt with them. Now, as I say, the other unusual thing about this one is you've got to go around the wrong side. Three rounds for bugger all. Now, very often it's worth checking out the guys you've killed, because sometimes they actually have better swag. First one has an empty. This guy has nothing. What do you have? A bandage. Well, yeah, I'll take a bandage. Put the marker down. Not that I need a marker now. We're approaching Zelena. We're currently here. Approaching Zelena. Anyone's used to my videos knows it's a part of town, or a part of the map I know very well. So, talk to you again in a bit. And here we go. We're in Zelena, approaching the supermarket. Didn't want to go into the supermarket at first, but I killed a sheep, and for the second time on this server, I couldn't... Oh, good grief, he came in quick, didn't he? Oh, yeah, I slaughtered the animal, gutted it, but couldn't pick up the food. So, as I got tapped a little while ago, I need as much food as I can get in an attempt to build my blood levels up. So it's can eating time. It's It's not a very good way of doing it. You only get 300 blood from every can of food. What was that, by the way? I didn't bother checking. A watch. Whoopie-doo. So, yeah, it's a case of find as many cans of food as you can and eat as much as you can. What are you? Oh, a map. I suppose I might as well pick up a second map. Never know when you're going to need a second map. Although I can't see myself playing on these servers very much. Even though there are admins on this one, there doesn't seem to be much in the way of, you know, I don't know, I suppose I've been playing on the Rock Paper Zombie one for long enough now that I consider that to be home, so there's no point putting a great deal of effort into the main game, I suppose. Not much in the way of food, was it? Normal little run through on Zelena. Is it going to be worth it? Yeah, let's have a quick look. No, not enough. So, I suppose it's a case of work my way up to the barns and log out, I suppose. It's a Sunday. The lads will be on later. Can you see that's been knocked over? That means a vehicle's been through here. Yes, as I was saying, the lads will be on later on in the evening, probably for Battlefield. Having some fun and games with the new maps. They seem to be pretty good. Nip into the post office. See if there's any chow in here. The answer is no. It's a big fat zero. I spent a bit of time before I came into Zelena to overlooking it to see if there's anything any zombie activity, and there wasn't, so I'm working on the assumption there's no one here. And even if there is someone here, I'm pretty well armed, so they can deal with the AK Cobra. I'll have me a can of beans though. Come across. Come across. It's going to take a lot of cans of baked beans to build my blood level back up, but it is nice to be on a server with such a long view distance. I say it must be over a kilometre. Do love these messages. Stop sniping, I'm friendly. Well, you haven't figured out the other guy isn't friendly and that's why he's sniping. Then of course they hear about a sniper on a server and everyone runs up because they all want to shoot the sniper. You see? There's something here. Binoculars. Yeah, right. As normal, running through this town, you run to this portion, you'll actually get here before the zombies. Useful. Shotgun. There's quite a lot in here. There's a TV tower in the distance. I can probably work out what the view distance is, because you notice the fog starts probably about 100 metres before the TV tower. So, let's have a little look at the map. Electro. So there's the TV tower. And I am here. So, if I say, I don't know, 100 metres, about there. Or if I put it actually on the TV tower itself. That was the wrong thing to do. Put a tag on the TV tower, and it's 934 meters away. So yeah, it's been drawn at at the best part of a kilometre. So what have we got here? You can't just not look. There is something about this game. I think, having sort of thought about it for a bit, it's the...
Me.
Oh God, more people talking on side chat, they'll get themselves kicked. That it's a bit like the cow clicker games you get on Facebook. My wife loves Facebook games. She spends all day playing Facebook games. Can't exactly complain. I spend hours and hours and hours playing Dayz. So she'll spend most of the day playing Facebook games. And, you know, these things are called Farmville and such like. Cow clickers. Hang on. No one came to that. So yeah, cow clickers. So I think there's a certain element to Dayz, at a psychological level at least, to the Farmville-esque cow clicker. I think there is something about this continuous reward and finding and reward and finding, and do you know what I mean? There are similarities between what you do in Dayz, continuously looking, continuously being rewarded, sometimes with good things, sometimes with bad, to games like Farmville. This continuous search and reward, search and find and reward you get from a cow clicker, I think at a psychological level at least, there are some similarities. So, anyway, enough of this mutterings and musings. Where have I been today? Oh, hang on, back it out. I spawned in on that French server around here somewhere, just above Electro. I went to the dam for something to drink, then Pushta, then to Mogilevka, Narodzino. This is when I decided to leave that French server and come to this British one, because I thought the server was performing very badly. From there I went to Kozlowska and popped into Zelenogorsk, and I am now just there. Three meters. That's not bad, is it, eh? So, on that note, I've covered a good chunk of the map. Not managed to be shot, which is quite good, because this is a pretty full server. They all appear to be down on the south coast. They do have an issue on this server with people chatting on side chat. I've had to mute quite a few people because they're talking too much. I'm out of here, boys and girls. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.